Hello, my name is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper for your update on July 22nd, 2020. And for those of you who are curious, yes, the cat is here too. He's keeping busy. Anyway, this evening, um, White House and GOP negotiators have been working on latest aid bill to help families, businesses, communities, states, all levels of government with um, handling the fallout of the coronavirus. It was announced this evening that there's a tentative agreement to add money for more testing in the next COVID-19 relief package, or so the Associated Press is reporting. One thing that hasn't been settled at this hour is to what degree the expected $1 trillion bill will include for more direct aid. According to reports, the Donald Trump administration is pushing for a is looking for a payroll tax cut, whereas more Republican leaders are in the Senate are would prefer another round of direct cash payments, such as the $1,200 that many of you all, including myself, certainly received. When it comes to that, there's something to be said for when money goes directly to individuals. It's been noted that a payroll tax will only go to those who are currently unemployed. And if you've lost your job during this pandemic, or you're seeing greatly reduced hours, a payroll tax is not necessarily going to touch you the same way that a direct payment would. That's something to be seen. Also, it's been announced that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is now looking at having a handful of COVID-19 aid bills instead of a single package, and we'll potentially be seeing the details of that as soon as tomorrow. So that's something to keep an eye on. While we're going over these figures, just looking at the latest COVID-19 numbers, starting with the state of Wyoming, as reported by the State Department of Health. We're now up to 1,864 lab confirmed cases, 424 probable cases, and 25 people have had COVID-19 related deaths. In Sweetwater County, we're at 188 confirmed cases and 13 probable cases. One moment while this is one of those things where forgive me for not having had the recoveries. Statewide, it was noted by the Wyoming News Exchange that our recoveries grew by 51 people today. That number is now up to 1,417 people, and that's including that's for the lab confirmed cases, and an additional 328 recoveries reported amongst those who are labeled as probable cases. Broadening our scope a little bit, Johns Hopkins University is reporting that in the United States, our total number of cases is now at 3,955,860. I anticipate we'll be surpassing 4 million before the week is out. And the U.S. death total now sits at 142,942 people. And we're now at 1,210,849 recoveries in the United States. Globally, we're looking at 15,077,182 total cases. And the global death toll sits at 620,257 people. And the overall recovery number is now grown to 8,588,757 people. The impact of the coronavirus and just how we're expected to deal with it continues to change. We're still working to do our best based on the best information we have at hand. One thing that a lot of people are keeping an eye on, including myself, would be college football. And a letter was sent this week, dated July 21st, and it came into the hands of the Associated Press today, which reported it, noting that the NCAA's Football Oversight Committee is asking for more time to make a decision on whether or not they'll be conducting fall championships. Presently, the Board of Governors is set to meet on Friday, and we'll see whether or not they postpone the decision or make a tentative decision, which may have a qualifier on it as we go forward. We do know that Major League Baseball starts tomorrow. Opening day, which the goal is to have a 60-game season, kicks off on Thursday. When it comes to the cameras, we're going to see masks, we're going to see empty parks, and it's going to be different. There are just a number of things that we're just going to be finding a term. It's I hate to use the term new normal, but that's honestly the best words I can have coming together. In other news, Wyoming regulators continue to discuss PacifiCorp's plan to retire coal plants, including the Jim Bridger units locally. We've had some meetings in Rock Springs. There have been places and other elsewhere around the state. The Associated Press spent a little bit of time today talking about plans set for September, where people in the state have raised this challenge against the company's energy plans that would close several coal-fired plants. When it comes to this challenge, there are two questions that the commission is seeking to answer. And in the words of Chairwoman Kara Hornstorm, and she's the chairwoman of the Wyoming Public Service Commission, she said, first, is the preferred portfolio economically sound? And second, does the preferred portfolio ensure reliability? Now, the story notes that it's not clear whether or not the state commission has the authority to deny PacifiCorp's integrated resource plan. It's never been addressed before. In preparation for this upcoming meeting in September, there was a week-long hearing, which included local government members, a group of industrial energy companies or energy customers, and a state citizens group. When it comes to laying out the arguments to deny the request to close these plants early, opponents are noting that PacifiCorp did not include necessary reviews such as an socio-economic analysis and the potential for trapping carbon dioxide from power plants to keep greenhouse gas out of the atmosphere. They also expressed concern about how the plans to retire coal-fired power generation will cost hundreds of jobs in southwest Wyoming. Sweetwater County Commissioner Wally Johnson spoke as part of these hearings. He's quoted as saying, "They don't have a heart about the effects they're having on the people." He went on to say, I think they've done a very poor job of letting people know what's going to come down here. But they're a big company. I don't believe that other ratepayers should pay for what's happening here. To give the PacifiCorp response, Richard Link, who is the Vice President of Resource Planning and Acquisitions, said that a socio-economic analysis would fundamentally alter the basis of the plan and the primary goal of keeping rates low while maintaining reliable service. So keep your eyes out for that, and I anticipate there'll still be more more opportunities for public input. It was good to see people packing Rock Springs City Hall on previous times when that's been there. Additionally, today, Green River is making some changes in city government, moving some positions around, creating new positions, and starting a voluntary separation benefit program. In a press release, they note that Steve Core has joined the city of Green River as the communications administrator. Many of you have heard him on the radio, noting that he's got a history of communications, along with being a resident and diligent supporter of local organizations. In addition, Ryan Rust has been hired as the governmental affairs and grants manager. That position is meant to lead the governmental relations function and work with city administrator, who's Reed Clevenger, to plan and execute a comprehensive, proactive government affairs strategy that advances the city's goals. He also ideas that he'll be the principal liaison to elected officials at all levels and working with the communications administrator to disseminate pertinent information in print and online, just the best possible ways to be able to get a hold of people. The same press release notes that the Green River is offering a voluntary separation program to employees who have more than 5 years of service. The goal is that they're trying to see reduction in personnel costs. And they're trying to do so carefully. In the same press release, City Administrator Reed Clevenger stresses, quote, "If we have leisure programs that need to run and need staff, then we will move forward accordingly. If we have mandated restrictions by county health and with this pandemic, then we will look to readjust hours or responsibilities." The same release later quotes him as saying, "We need to continually be proactive, adaptable, and strategic while meeting the needs and the budget of the city and the short and long-term goals of the council." We're still making adjustments, and as previously mentioned, and one is coming from the Bureau of Land Management when it comes to restarting wild horse and burro adoptions by adoption only. I'll admit, I've not gotten to be able to do this. I'm usually the guy working in the office, checking the spelling, helping pull the stories and do the page layout. But if you do have the chance, I would strongly encourage you to go to the horse corrals and Rock Springs over near the Y-Dot building. Whether it's for an adoption event, I frequently go there just for the overlook, but just to see the turnout when there's people, when they have their open days to have people come out and pick out a horse and add a member to their family. The pictures are always the type of thing that take my breath away. We're not going to see those for a while. Those have been postponed for the time being. But if you are still interested in adding a horse or burro to your barn, you'll be able to reach out to both the Rock Springs Corral or the Mantle Adoption and Training Facility in Wheatland. There are specific times that they'll be open, and just if you're interested, look at rocketminer.com. We'll have the additional details on how you can get a hold of these people. Like always, the adoptions are first come, first served. It notes that appointments will be limited to an hour and a half, and the people involved, the staff members at the BLM, will be following the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidance, and any additional requests from either state, county, other local health government to protect employees, contractors, and the public. I would say for the foreseeable future, that's going to mean wear a face mask when you can't fully social distance from somebody. Still keep a safe distance. Keep washing your hands. And the thing I'd like to end with actually comes from the U.S. Senate, which has unanimously passed a bipartisan resolution declaring July 25th as the National Day of the American Cowboy. This resolution was led by U.S. Senators Mike Enzi and John Barrasso from Wyoming, along with John Tester from Montana, and is meant to commemorate the pioneering men and women who helped establish the American West. In a press release, Enzi says, National Day of the American Cowboy is a way for us to say thanks and acknowledge the contribution cowboys made throughout history and the impact they still have today. We look to cowboys as role models for how to live up to some of the best American qualities. I'm proud to keep this tradition and lead this resolution that resonates with our cowboy state. Senator Barrasso has also contributed, saying the American cowboy symbolizes the spirit, values, and traditions that people in Wyoming cherish most. He said everyone could benefit from adhering to the cowboy's commitment to honesty, integrity, and hard work. I look forward to joining Senator Enzi and honoring America's cowboys and cowgirls across the state of Wyoming. It's noted that the National Day of the Cowboy was started by former U.S. Senator Craig Thomas back in 2005. And every year since then, the Senate has passed this resolution, which has typically coincided with Cheyenne Frontier Days. The resolution states, in part, the cowboy embodies honesty, integrity, courage, compassion, respect, a strong work ethic, and patriotism. And the cowboy archetype transcends ethnicity, gender, geographic boundaries, and political affiliations. So, both on the 25th and every day, I sure hope we're all able to act more like cowboys and cowgirls. This is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, wishing you a good day and a safe tomorrow.